up my fly bar. Now, so you know what I came up with, measuring from the tit of the cage to the end of the fly bar, was 154 millimeters on each side. All right, and double check that. Yep, 154 millimeters from the tit of the cage to the end of the fly bar. At this point, go ahead, without moving the fly bar, put your set screws in. Don't forget to Loctite. Get your fly bar locked. Anyway, that will finish the seesaw, and we'll continue on. Okay, now as I said, we're continuing along with the regular flow of the build. So we're going to go ahead and assemble the washout. Now it shows you putting the bearings in and the elbow arms on and everything, and of course mine came pre-built. All right, double check that their orientation is correct, that this standoff area is pointed toward the elbow arm on both these arms, not reversed. I went ahead and double checked these screws for Loctite. I recommend you do as well. 2 screws on the elbow arms. Go ahead and do that when you're done. These should be free, fall easily. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put the balls on these. Now, here we go again. This head is very programmable. We got 2 holes in the washout arm. All right, the manual says, let me show it here. The manual says, should have zoomed in, but it says the closer in hole is beginner, or beginner. The farther out hole is advanced. I'm going with the farther out hole. Again, if you're a beginner, put it in the beginner hole. I'm going to go with the far out hole. So let's go ahead and get these balls on there. Don't forget your Loctite, and we'll continue on. Okay, next step of the washout. Let me just zoom in a little bit. All right, so you've got the washout base, and the brass sleeve that's sticking out goes toward the swash plate. This is not that big a deal, but what you want to do is you want to make sure you put these arms on correct. And the way they go on is the ball should face toward, if the main shaft was in here like this. Of course, flipping them the other way is impossible, but what you don't want to do is bolt them on this way. They simply don't go that way. All right, so bolt them on. Now, again, on this one, what I like to do, since there's a bearing right there, you can go ahead and put Loctite in the screw. Just clean it up so it's just in the threads, or just go ahead and drop some Loctite in the hole. Either way you want to go. But you want to build this so it's basically looks like that, okay, with the brass sleeve down. All right, I'm going to go ahead and assemble this. We'll come back, take a look, and continue on. Okay, washout's made. And again, if everything's done right, brass sleeve, and if you look at the elbow arms, again, you'll see that mold ring with a larger hole than this one, so when this goes onto the swash plate, the balls go on right. Good chance we'll have to size those. We'll see when it comes time. All right, so on to building the swash plate. Now, this swash plate is interesting, and actually, it looks like maybe they were thinking of also offering a 140 swash instead of a 120 swash. So you want to make sure you get these in the right holes. This is the way it's going to work. You got the one with the pin. That's going to screw in here. Don't forget your Loctite. And then you'll notice on these 2, you got 2 holes. 120 swash is going to be this back hole here and this back hole here. They don't even tell you to go ahead and put it on in the 140 position, but it might be maybe later they got a 140 setup coming. That'd be cool. I'd always love to do a 140 system. But anyway, so let's get the balls on here. So again, put the ball on this back hole, and what I mean by back hole in relation to the one with the pin on it. So back hole here, and then put the other 4 balls on the center of the swash. Again, don't forget your Loctite. Let's get the swash built. We'll continue on. Okay, swash built properly, and everything ready to go. So we're going to take the main shaft. Now, you'll notice the main shaft has 2 holes here and 1 hole up here. All right, so the single hole is going to go into the head. What you're going to do is stick that in there and go ahead, and in the bag that your head originally came with, actually, let me go wide here. I'm a little too zoomed in now. Came the Jesus bolt and nut and a short bolt. That's for the head button. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the Jesus bolt into the main shaft. All right, get that in. And then once we got that in, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to put your washout on so that the brass sleeve is toward the swash. Put your swash on. All right, and if you haven't sized your elbow links, like I haven't, you're going to snap your elbow links on. Let me see if they need it. No, actually, they don't. The elbow links seem to be just fine. Doesn't seem like I have to size those. Let's see how that feels. Yeah, that feels good. All right, tip your swash. If you got to size them, go ahead and size them, but mine seem to be okay. All right, and then the washout's going to meet up with the pins on the head. And basically, at this point, in your bag came the collar. I would say, since we're not going to deal with this for a little bit, go ahead and put your collar on, put the screw in, don't Loctite it, but just hold it so all this stuff doesn't fall off your main shaft. At this point, you can also go ahead and put your head button on your head. All right, pretty simple. Don't forget the Loctite. And that completes the basic steps of the head through page. Bear with me here. Through page. Yeah, they're talking about putting some of the other links together. Yeah, up to page 4 where I did the grips. After page 4, 5, and 6, we'll go ahead and put up the other links together and go on from there. But for the most part, this completes the build. My next step, I'll probably go ahead and set up the links.